Hi, I'm Daniel. I'm a sleep physician. And if you have insomnia, this channel is for you. Today, I'm happy to share that Suzanne is doing better, and she shares 3 important insights with us. One is related to letting go. Another one is related to trust. And another one related to how a doodle nightbook can help you sleep better. Nice having you back here, and if you're new to the channel, welcome to you, and hope you find something that is of value to you here. Today I have an email from Suzanne that is very encouraging and a lot of insights in this correspondence. Before we take a look at the email, I just wanted to say, as always, that nothing here is specific medical advice to anyone, but general thoughts that I hope will be helpful to anyone that hears this. Now, 2 days ago, I received a message from Suzanne that has shared so many insights with us on this channel, and I was very happy to hear that she was doing better. But let's read a couple of things here. She said she has been reading Sasha Stevens' book, The Effortless Sleep Method, which I think is really good, and she thinks that she has learned a lot from it. And then she goes, I am still following the sleep restriction and stimulus control strategies that CBT for insomnia suggests, but I have decided not to allow the insomnia to consume my thoughts throughout the day, at least as much as possible. And this is a big step. This is a big insight. You typically get that notion that somebody is like on the right path, on their way to like really getting over their insomnia, when it doesn't bother them so much. When people are saying, I don't sleep great, but it's not a big problem anymore. I don't obsess about it. I don't think about it as much. And as I'm thinking at this very moment, like, do I have any advice for you in terms of like how to get there? I can't say I really do, but I have noticed that when people really are committed to CBT, typically this you will get to this point where you when you're kind of letting go of a lot of the preoccupation with sleep, and that's a very good sign. And by the way, if I come up with a specific advice on how to do that, I will share it, of course. So I'm really happy to hear this, Suzanne, and let's go on here. The other real interesting thing, the real insight I thought was here. I want to read this. I would like you to know that the weeks of bedtime restriction paid off this week with 4 nights of 6 2 hours of solid, refreshing sleep. So know that CBT works. That I'm super glad to hear this, and I'm really happy to share this because I hope this will be encouraging to other people that may be in earlier stages of treating their insomnia, or may have never started. By the way, if all this is completely new to you, CBT, bedtime restriction, cognitive behavioral therapy is what this channel is really about, and bedtime restriction is the technique where you kind of limit time in bed so that you're sleepier when you go to bed. You have more solid sleep and more better quality sleep. So if you're new to the channel, definitely check out the early episodes, particularly Insomnia Insight episode 1, where we talk about time restriction. There's a follow-up at 7 and 14, and Insomnia Insight number 5, where we talk about stimulus control. And stimulus control, by the way, is when you leave the bed when you're unable to sleep, so that you kind of reassociate the bed with sleeping again. And we'll get to more on stimulus control in a second here. Suzanne goes back to Sasha Stevens' book, and she says that, by reading it, I have come to understand how much this is about, overcoming insomnia. This is about my thoughts, behaviors, trust in the body and myself. Another really, another key insight here. I've heard this expressed a little bit differently, and I know this may not be exactly what you're talking about, Suzanne, but I think this is really important. Like, a lot of people with trouble sleeping feel like something is wrong in kind of their brain's regulation of sleep. It doesn't produce sleep, doesn't produce sleepiness, but you have to trust the brain. Like that's the key thing. Like, you have to get to a point where you trust that the brain, the body, can regulate sleep and somehow When you trust your brain to do that, you're a little bit more relaxed, you're not trying to take control, that can really help you sleep better. Another big insight here. And then finally, I think this was really, really, I really kind of enjoyed sharing this, because this is like, I think, an example of how you can turn, the proverbial lemon into lemonade. So, Suzanne is writing, she's sharing with us that I'm sending you a doodle nightbook, which is something I work on when I'm practicing stimulus. So take a look at this doodle nightbook. I think I can make it into a pop-up book. It extends about 8 feet and can be folded accordion style into all kinds and combinations of images. I'm working on the opposite side now. Kind of like, you feel two things when you see this. On one hand, you feel like, oh my God, it's 8 feet long, and with all these beautiful, intricate details, you can tell that Suzanne has had to leave the bed a lot in sleep, giving her time to work on this. But she's created something beautiful, So all this insomnia has been like channeled into something so nice and so beautiful. And I hope, of course, that it won't be too much longer. Hope this was helpful to anyone out there listening. And as always, thanks so much, Suzanne, for sharing this with us. And if you have a question or a insomnia problem that I want to share, or you want suggestions or advice or anything like that, comment here or send me an email at daniel@insomniainsight.co. And I hope to have everyone out there back here again very soon. Until then,